check 2. This is it. Welcome to the Cannabis Coffee Hour. I'm your host, Rob Cantrell. I have an exciting episode, an exciting guest, a great friend, a warm guest, funny writer for The Daily Show. He also has an awesome Substack that you need to subscribe to. He just came back from Japan. We've been chopping it up. Give it up for my good friend, Mr. Matt Koff.
Hello. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Rob. Great to be here.
Oh, thanks for doing this,
Thanks
Matt.
for the lovely intro.
Oh, how was that?
It was great.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about you. You're awesome. I feel like I'm doing like a press conference post game or something. Yeah, you're an awesome guy. You're a great player, Yeah. No, I always love seeing you perform and always love seeing you at shows. So thanks for having me do this.
Yeah, thanks for. I mean, we go back. That's the thing, Matt. That I remember doing shows with you maybe 10 years ago over in Bedford, and then when your album came out, I did your album release.
Oh yeah,
party.
yeah. You introduced me on my album too.
Yeah. Oh wow.
No,
yeah.
you didn't do the party. I think, or maybe you did do the party, but you did the recording, the taping.
I did the taping. I
You
warmed up the
opened.
room,
Yeah, you warmed it up.
and I brought you up for 800 Pound Gorilla. Everybody can listen to it on
It's true. iTunes, probably YouTube.
I bet it's on Spotify now. Have you checked?
I haven't. It was off for a while. That would be great if it were.
Yeah, because mine was off. Ours went down the same time.
At 800 Pound
We
Gorilla?
talked about this. Yeah, at 800
It's back.
pound.
Oh, that's
Mine
great.
snuck back, so I would double check.
This is really exciting. Thank you
Yeah.
for bringing me here and telling me this. I'm glad you videotaped. It's like a gender reveal or something. Oh my God, my baby is alive.
It could be.
Could be alive.
Don't quote me, because the streaming wars are happening right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and we're on the front lines.
You're on the front lines at all fronts, all media at all times.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you're at Daily Show, which
That's
is
right.
streaming now
On Paramount Plus.
on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I say Paramount Plus because I'm friendly to the Latino community. But yes.
Yeah, I thought it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a trip that, like, how everybody's absorbing media. How do you absorb media these days?
Rectally. I do, yes.
Spotify in my ass.
Yeah, Spotify in my ass.
Espresso
And
through
Pandora.
the nose. And earwax drain.
How do I absorb media? I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, what's your? Do
you think that's good or bad?
This podcast.
Oh,
What?
thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Is it good or bad? Wait, what do you mean? To listen to podcasts?
To listen to so many podcasts. Like, I don't listen to a lot, but they'll creep up on my YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
And then they'll creep up on my YouTube stories, and I'm like, I gotta cut this out, man.
Oh,
I'm knowing too much about everybody.
Yeah, no, I know everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a real problem to know everything.
It's a real problem to
But
know
I
everything.
have
now
all
it's like
because I fall asleep to the podcast, so I wake up and I have supreme knowledge.
supreme knowledge of all of the universe right there.
I know.
Do you ever do the tonal ones, like the 342 gigahertz?
No. Is that kind of like a binaural beats?
Yeah,
situation?
binaural beats.
I used to
type
have
of
an app.
situation.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the whole podcast. It's not like, hey, we're gonna get into some beats. The whole thing is just a tone. Is that what
Just
you're
a
saying?
tone, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I switched up on you from podcasts to just straight up ambient music.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I am kind of interested, because there is so much and I do the same thing, and I love them all, and I listen to them all, but I also like to cut them out too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I kind of go between podcasts and audiobooks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I never know. I'm like, how different is a podcast from an audiobook? It's such a fine line. Conversational, like, this is fine, but if I were just to start talking, is that an audiobook? Or if one of us just talks?
I know.
It really makes you think, you know.
What media is. No, I think about it all day now.
Is this an audiobook?
Is this a movie? Is this a music video?
Is it a musical? Is it a live musical? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Is it a podcast? Yes.
Definitely a podcast. Yeah.
Definitely a podcast. And we got microphones and we are comedians.
Yeah.
And there's a theme. I'm drinking Japanese green tea.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Thanks for getting me this Oi Ocha Matcha green tea with Kyoto Uji matcha. Which camera do I look into? This one? Okay.
Yeah.
Oi Ocha Matcha Green Tea Unsweetened Kyoto Uji Matcha. I want free Ocha, so that's why I did that ad.
Oh yeah, it's all about getting echinacea, ginger root, like
ginkgo biloba.
Oh, which one?
Ginkgo biloba.
Oh yeah, ginkgo biloba. All
Personal
day.
friend, yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one. Yeah, in Japanese they have so much matcha and green tea, which is so anti-inflammatory and so healthy.
Yeah.
In all regards, compared to Dr. Pepper. and
Dr. Pepper
tequila.
is inflammatory.
Yes.
Yeah, not anti. He's pro or she is pro-inflammatory.
It's flaming up. You ever had a flaming Dr. Pepper? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, in college.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's great. So yeah, you're a real health nut, right?
I do love it. I do love, as I get older, like dude, I just went through my first can of anchovies.
Really?
Have you done that yet?
Like you went through it, like just eating it all at once?
Eating it all at once.
Wow.
And all the oil and everything.
Oh, like you drip the oil all over your face?
Oh, the way you're supposed to do it is get the classy good one in a good tin that's in olive oil, right? And you get it from the Italian joints.
Yeah.
I got some
Cento.
spicy.
Cento
is one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I may be the Cento. It had a paper wrapping and a tin. It was double.
That's awesome.
But it was $10 price.
Oh, I know what you mean. Oh, so it's in a little box you open up, and then you have to. There's a lot of packaging.
It's a lot of packaging.
Not really very sustainable, which is kind of what you want from tinned fish. I feel like maybe. I know those things. It's like maybe spend a little less on the cover art and lower it down to $8 maybe.
But that graphic designer has been there since 1838, just drinking all that anchovy juice.
I know.
If you just drank anchovy juice, you could be 220 years old.
You think so?
Oh yeah, that and tomato juice. Because that's what I got, some spicy tomato.
Is that what you drink? What do you have for breakfast? What's your routine? What do you eat?
Okay, this is the cannabis. I could talk about this all day. Oh, bacon grease. I save it all week.
You save bacon grease. Oh, you eat bacon all week?
All week long.
Really?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I haven't touched bacon. Bacon is definitely like cocaine in these parts. Like once every, and I don't do cocaine at all, but how other people look at it. Like bacon once in a while. Like it's gotta be crazy.
Yeah.
Because I used to eat a lot of bacon. I grew up eating bacon. And one, like 4 slices of bacon in a frying pan. You ever see how much grease that makes?
Yeah. It makes a lot.
It makes a lot of grease.
Yeah, totally.
You don't want that grease. That's all cholesterol. That'll clog up your heart.
Yeah, totally.
So I've been full on turmeric, full on real peanut butter. Like I got this peanut butter that's from Virginia and Michigan, real peanuts.
Oh my God.
And then I got
cinnamon. Is it usually
turmeric.
not real peanuts?
Yeah, I mean Jif and all that shit. Anything that has preservatives and additives is kind of bunk. And if you're making something as simple as peanut butter, like dude.
Yeah.
Just give me the oil and give me the peanuts.
Give me the oil.
Give me the oil.
I don't really like the oil. I like when they take out the oil first. You know, it gets a little.
You like it pre-mixed? Yeah, man. I know what you're saying.
I don't want to do any manual labor. I'm already spreading. I'm opening jars. Now I gotta mix.
Yes. Yes. You gotta make that. That's how you make it fresh. You whip that peanut butter fresh, the chunky.
Yeah,
if you want it pre-whipped, no, you gotta whip it yourself.
Nobody.
It breaks everything up.
I never knew growing up. They don't tell you this in school that if you want real peanut butter, you've got to be prepared to whip.
You gotta whip.
No.
Everything's better whipped. What about scrambled eggs? Like. Do you know how to whip some eggs?
Yeah, I know how to whip some eggs. Yeah, no, I know. I do the Gordon Ramsay thing where it's on the heat, it's off the heat. You keep scrambling the whole time.
Yes.
You do that for like 4 minutes, and then you have perfect, creamy, scrambled eggs. You ever do that?
I just learned that. Now that you're saying, and the theory is you don't hammer it with heat the whole time.
Right,
with
exactly,
eggs, it quickly heats very fast.
Right, exactly. So yeah, it's like on, off.
It's brilliant. I have to say, Gordon Ramsay, shout out. Have you ever met Gordon Ramsay?
No, have you?
No, I haven't ever met him.
Does he listen to the podcast?
He might. And not to drop names. I just thought in Daily Show he might, he might come through.
Yeah. I don't really meet too many of the guests on the show. They're in like a whole separate building. They just kind of cage up the writers, in a separate hallway, and they're like, "We don't want you to meet anyone." They're like, "You're backward facing. We don't want you meeting Gordon Ramsay." And
just crank out those jokes.
Just crank out the jokes.
Alley.
Yeah, you can learn about scrambled eggs on your own time, Matt. That's what the weekend's for.
10 topical jokes about
Trump's hair. What animal does it look like? Give me 10 animals. Yeah.
But you're great at it. Matt is one of the best joke writers of all time, man.
Oh, thank you.
I love your joke writing. And,
I love your jokes. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
There is a reason why you've been at The Daily Show for how many years now?
About 12.
Holy shit. I remember when you were not at The Daily Show.
Yeah. Oh, you don't remember when I wasn't? Or you do?
I do remember.
Oh, okay.
I remember doing shows. Yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah,
It's been a while, but that's amazing that you've been there 12 years.
Thanks.
Aren't you grateful for that?
I'm so grateful. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, I never expected to have any job this long,
Nobody has the job this long anymore.
Oh, no, it's insane. I know. I feel like I'm kind of in the 50s where I'm like, yes, my career is this, and then I'm going to retire. I'm like, how did this become one of those kind of like boring insurance jobs? You know what I mean? Like, not boring, but kind of like steady. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know how it worked out. I feel very lucky.
You're very lucky, but you have talked to me before because you are a great stand-up, and I know you just performed in Japan, and I know you're getting out there on the road, and you're always mixing it up, doing shows and putting out projects that, TV writing isn't the end result for you, but it's been a good result for you in the last 12 years, and definitely awesome gig to have.
Totally, yeah. It's been, I don't know. I think my initial goal was to start, doing writing, and I started doing stand-up just because I wanted a writing job. And then when I got the writing job, I was like, well, I could stop doing stand-up, but I like it. So, and it kind of gives you something that you have creative control over, which is like when you're writing for a show, it's like they can not use your jokes or they can, and,
No, yeah. I think doing stand-up, as much as funky stand-up the world it is out there, I do think even as an older comic, you should always keep doing it.
Totally,
because you learned how to do it already, and you learn kind of what's going on in the world because you're putting yourself out there. Like you get a little bit better read of temperature.
Oh, definitely,
what
you are
every
engaging
man
in the world.
is doing. Yeah, that's what I like about stand-up.
Yeah,
is that you kind of engage with all different classes, all different sects of people. That knowledge is you can bring back to whatever you do.
Exactly, yeah.
Whether you're writing for a TV show or writing a film or writing a television project.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, if you are a writer, usually you're just kind of like with other writers all day, and you don't talk to anyone. So, yeah, it's great.
You're in the writer's room. There's been a lot of podcasts recently talking about writer's room. I know. Ben Stiller was talking about it, and Conan was talking about it.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, just recently I've been picking up on how interesting, I guess, non-comedy fans are of the writer's room. Like, it's a big deal to get into the writer's room. Like, I've almost gotten in a couple, and I've been...
weren't you in...
No, and the only thing was Dan Curry brought me, I wrote some stuff for the Howard Stern show. I've sold stuff, but I've never been brought in. I've been 1099 on smaller projects.
Right, I see.
But one time Adult Swim but I would love to do a writer's room because it is a bunch of goofballs like me, jacked up on coffee, just spitting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
But competitive, and you got to hold your own.
Totally.
Comedy-wise. So you can't go in there kind of slack. You can't slack. Is there a slack gear?
Is there a slack gear? Just you mean like when at the Daily Show?
Yeah, the Daily Show.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's still a comedy show.
It's still a comedy show. Oh, yeah, it is.
I've been there. Like, it does have a corporate vibe. That's the cool thing about show business.
Yeah.
That I do like that vibe. Like, I've warmed up the Daily Show. I performed on the Colbert. I like going to sets.
Yeah.
Professional sets. Even this space here, I help move gear. And just like, sets are cool.
Yeah,
and it's not as corporate-y, I guess is what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, it's I would say it's a mix. Maybe it's gotten a little more corporate-y, person.
And the show gets successful, it's got to.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. But I mean, I kind of like that we're out there, all the way at the edge of Manhattan, and it's like, it's funny. It's like, it is a TV show, but it's also next to like a horse stable where there's like horse shit everywhere. So, and there's like a dog park. It doesn't feel very fancy, No,
but it feels classic New York. We did
it's near the Hustler Club on the West Side Highway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this is very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting setting. It's not like Hollywood, or however you envision it,
Yeah. But I do envision Manhattan, Midtown.
Sure, yeah.
As comedy writing, television, whether it's
right.
SNL or the Tonight Show. There's always been a handful of television shows in New York that it's shooting.
Yeah. I mean, like when I was growing up, I used to dream about writing for SNL. And when you dream about writing for SNL, you're like, I'm going to go to Rockefeller Center, Art Deco, everything looks amazing. And
I'm going to skate every other day.
And I'm very grateful for my job, but it's definitely like we're just in this little warehouse building, and I kind of want to be in like, Art Deco town with, sipping martinis with Lorne Michaels, you know what I mean? Not slumming it with Jon Stewart.
Playing softball.
Yeah, not playing softball with Jon Stewart.
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John. Does he watch this?
I don't know. He hasn't emailed me in a minute.
All right.
No, but I know. I haven't talked to John. But I did warm up at the Daily Show a few times. But my act wasn't really right for warm up.
Oh, really? Well, yeah. I mean, you have.
I've done other shows, but then I moved on. It's just one of those gigs that you do over the years.
Totally.
Did you ever do warm up for the Daily Show or any other show?
No, I never did warm up. But isn't warm up like? I guess you do have an act, right? But when I think of warm up, I always think of like just doing crowd work.
It definitely divulges. It definitely ends up. That's what it ends up being.
Where are you from?
Yeah. It ends
but
up
you're
being
saying
that
there is an act too. Like there are jokes.
Yeah, when I would go in there, I would just do like my act and then finish it with maybe a little bit of crowd work, and that would be it.
Okay.
And but eventually you learn to remove the act and just you could do it a little bit. I guess everybody has like crowd work. I never enjoyed it that much.
Crowd work?
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, if the crowd is into it, if it feels like you're bothering them, then I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what we're accomplishing here, but if they're fun but there's like a balance, right, where they don't talk too much, that it gets unruly, but they're willing to engage with you when you open the door to doing that. So.
And it opens for improv and some of the best lines.
Exactly. Like if I've told my jokes one too many times, then I'm like, okay, well, I want to not do that, so I'll talk to the crowd. But you're not a big crowd work guy?
I had to early on. Like I used to do all these B rooms in like Baltimore and DC, and just right after I just did a lot of bad crowd work. Like I had to hold it down.
Sure.
Noisy. And then I would get like snappy with them, and my act just isn't that good that way. But I think
No, yeah.
now, like you said, like if you don't have to force it, those were just like really bad gigs that you have to like
Right, exactly.
engage and deal, which I just not into doing right now.
Totally,
But
yeah.
I do think with improv, you get tired of your act, and it's a fun way to pop it off.
Yeah,
And especially
totally.
the first 5 minutes. I think the first 5 minutes of any stand-up act, like if you can get, if you can goof around for a minute.
100%. Yeah, right. It's really fun. Yeah, that's why I like longer sets. There's space. Anytime I'm doing like big or small show in the city, I always feel a lot of pressure to be funny the entire time, and it's very hard when you have a short amount of time to like experiment in the same way when you have more space. You know what I mean? I don't know.
100%. Yeah, no, doing sets
Even a
in
pizzeria.
New York. Yeah, even pizzeria, like, I've been here since 2005, and I've done stand-up in other cities. But the stand-up is so good here that even, like, the shitty shows, you don't want to bomb too bad.
Right, exactly, because you want to keep getting booked by people.
And you don't want to waste other people's time. Where in San Francisco, there was legitimate weirdo art rooms. And I used to look down on them back in the day. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But I did like them. But now that I look back, those were great. Because I would just go in there, and that's kind of where I got a lot of my style.
Yeah,
where
right.
I found, like, just being able to ramble like I ramble.
Totally.
And talk things out in
have
those
people
weird
hear
art
it.
spaces.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Yeah.
Were you around? Did Zach Galifianakis come up in San Francisco?
He came out there. I saw him feature, but he was in New York City. But I
Oh, he
did like
was.
the first Union Hall show with Zach. I remember seeing him on the street.
Very first one?
Yeah, the very first stand-up show that they
Wow.
had there with Eugene Merman.
Oh, cool.
And Eugene, it was like, I think it was like Eating It had moved to Brooklyn. And it was like just when that, like, because that bar closed and then this popped up. And that was Eugene pretty much. And Zach was on that show, and I did a set on that show. Those guys were always cool enough to give me sets.
When was that?
Must have been 2005.
Wow, 20 years. Holy. Oh, my God.
I know everybody looks. I know with time and age and meditation, like as crazy and wild as that time was, I'm enjoying now so much.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I'm loving life now a lot more than ever I was when
Yeah.
I was younger, because you're just so antsy.
Yeah, it's nice to be a little more relaxed.
Relax.
Yeah.
And finding time and finding your own time.
Totally,
You've
yeah.
always had your own time. And you learn that with stand-up. It's just like you just have
finding your own like comedic timing, you mean?
comedic timing, which I
Yeah.
also think is essence timing. Like I also see Sebastian Maniscalco,
Yeah.
but he owns his time.
He really does. Yeah.
And the minute I ever saw him, and I saw him like do a guest set like in Dallas.
Yeah.
Me and Sean Rouse, and I was opening for Sean Rouse, and nobody knew him, but I was like, and they were just like simple jokes, but I was like, no, he owns this time.
Yeah, like when you say owns the time, you mean like, what do you mean exactly?
I mean, creates his own tempo, which all comics
totally.
does.
Right, yeah.
Whereas I think there's a constant tempo if you see a showcase shows and everybody's doing this, or a lot of younger comics at came out of Comedy Central might have a certain tone.
Exactly, right.
Or
He has
timing.
Very distinctive.
Yeah, very distinctive, where I think it's
Yeah.
like hip hop, like a boom, ba bap.
Yeah, exactly.
By finding your own voice is just a lot of it's finding your own time.
Yeah, you're right. That's very true. Yeah, I realize when I do something new, like a new joke, I think maybe that's the hardest thing, is finding the rhythm of it. Like I know something's funny, but it's like, how does it come out of my mouth? Find that right,
And that's when doing a lot of sets, it helps.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
I'm not doing as much, and I don't want to do as many.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit.
I kind of relate to
like, I think everybody is like everybody's. I think art and stand up, like I was telling you before, is just changing, in how we even approach it. But I'm glad, like I did all the dues years. Like I don't want to be slack. You still. That's the thing about it.
I
You
still
can't be too slack about it.
I do have like a kind of complex about, like, I feel like there's a certain amount I should be performing a lot, and yet, like, I know rationally that that's not necessarily true. Unless I really am, like, close to working on something, it's more about, like, for me, like, maintaining and doing a couple spots a week and staying sharp. And if there's not a reason to really grind it out, then, sometimes you're just like grinding it out because you're like, look at me, I'm grinding out. I qualify to be a stand-up you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's definitely.
I'm like, if I don't do it enough times a week, do I get to keep my comedian card,
I think as we get older, and especially how DIY art's getting right now, like it's all about like presentation and execution. Like, especially if you know what you're doing. Like Sandler's so chill with it. Like he's just like, okay, I've been writing movies for 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not like he hasn't been working. Like he knows how to do stand up. And he's been writing jokes this whole time. So then he'll switch a gear.
Totally. Right. Yeah.
And he understands, okay, I got to execute this right. I got,
Right, exactly.
do the right theaters, have the right guys open up, and own my time and figure out, what I want to do with it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's always cool to see people, really in any line of work, pivot and just being like, okay, now I'm going to do this,
Yeah. I love doing music. I've done music throughout my stand-up. I used to have a jazz band in San Francisco when I started, a comedy jazz band.
Okay. And you played...
I played the spinning kazoo. And
spinning kazoo?
I had a kazoo that spun. Like, whee! We had a saxophonist.
I could see that.
Yeah, I had a spinning kazoo. I told jokes. It was mostly like we were addicted to soup. It was like mostly like a long sketch form. With a couple comedians, and it was a lot of fun. But I always mixed music, and then I did a couple music albums. And I know you've been playing guitar, and for this episode, like they do have this awesome organ, and I've been playing my beats, these sequencers lately on the episodes. But you've been doing music,
just a little for fun. I've always played guitar, and my friend Dina and we will sometimes just jam after work, and it's very...
Dina Hashem, who's a comedian.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's been on this podcast. She did it via Zoom during the pandemic, and she's beyond cool.
Yeah,
and she plays drums with you.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of jam and make up, tunes and stuff, or sometimes we'll cover like a Pixie song or something, or we do Caribou. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing guitars? Like 16 or like 27?
I was in high school. I was 16, and I was bad at the music theory part, but I learned how to sing and play guitar, and I always loved playing Psycho Killer. It was one of my favorite ones.
Oh, wow.
Talking Heads. Yeah.
On the electric or with the acoustic?
Acoustic.
Yeah.
Like in the movie.
That's
like
a great
Stop
one.
Making Sense.
Yeah. No, I love that
that.
tune, and I love that riff. And I just play with an acoustic guitar, but
cool.
I love the guitar because you can make it a rhythm instrument. Like I just got that theory in terms of music theory. Mm-hmm. I think I never looked at guitar when I was little as a rhythm instrument until I got older.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And when I started rapping and stuff and playing with beats.
Yeah.
And then seeing the wah-wah guitar and the rhythm, just like it kind of hit me like, oh, this is a rhythm instrument as well.
Yeah, it is. Do you know the band Rodrigo y Gabriela?
No.
Oh, they're great.
Oh, wow.
They're like a Mexican, I don't know what you call them, power guitar. They're guitar duo.
I know Los Lobos, which are amazing, but
this is all instrumental. But
wow.
the woman Gabriela, she's like all percussive guitar, so just slapping the guitar, hitting it, and Rodrigo is the one who does the melody. He's like amazing player, but yeah, the sound of that guitar is so cool when it's just purely like percussive. It's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you should check them out.
I will check them out.
Yeah, I'll send you a track.
Yeah, send me a track,
it's
man.
Great.
I love international music and I love international rhythms.
Yeah.
Because they all have their own funk. Like DC has a funk and Philly has a funk, but then all different countries have punk rock or weird, or then they have their heritage music that is usually like percussion and wild out there.
Yeah, no, I know. What's Philly funk?
Philly funk is like the 70s, I guess was like from 72 to 76. I don't know even the bands, but it's like some of the best funk music of all time, soul and funk. But I can't. I'm blanking out on it right now. But I know it in terms of
does it have a sound?
Yeah. It's kind of like DC Go-Go kind of came. Chuck Brown, I remember, would talk about Philadelphia had this funk sound. But yeah, it's a guitar, wah-wah, horn sound. You know, just you think of that 70s funk.
Right,
and that's where Hall & Oates kind of came. Philly always had soul and funk. Like that's where the roots came from. Hall & Oates, like... And definitely like this organ, like organ-based music.
Is Philly the organ city?
I just think that it has that kind of, you know, it's a little bit more of a rounder, fuller, like older band style type of sound.
Nice.
In funk, but I might not be. But all areas have different hip hop and music.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And you were in Japan. What music did you see there? Did you see any?
Oh my God, we saw some amazing jazz.
Oh wow!
At this place called the Pit Inn.
The Pit Inn.
Yeah, I was like, it was in a jazz club. It was just like was. This guy was wailing on guitar. He was just like this crazy looking younger. It was like two old jazz guys, and they were great. But then this younger guy with half his head shaved and like half long hair. He's just like thrashing around, just like, you know, on the floor. Like he was just like, it was crazy. And it was just like, I don't know. I feel like
people were drinking tea or booze or
both.
Both. Yeah. Because they have everything.
Yeah. No holds barred.
And energy in the little energy drinks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Right. Yeah. They have what is that? They
we have the
vending
coffee
machines with like the coffee in the can.
And the coffee in the can and the little things. I love these things.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
We saw that amazing jazz band, and then we saw one really lame kind of pop punk band where they were just totally ripping off like some early aughts.
Yeah.
You know, pop punk thing. And I was like, oh, you can kind of be basic in Japan too. Not everything is like groundbreaking. Sometimes there's just boring stuff there too. Which was
cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Exactly. I was like, we can
go.
Yeah, we didn't stay very long for that one.
Yeah.
That was like the and
there's
also,
everybody got bad art.
Everyone's got bad. Oh, but yeah, we're also in just randomly. We didn't even know there would be music. This one restaurant, and like the waiter and like the hostess just started doing this like native Japanese music. It was incredible.
Singing,
but also like this kind of weird guitar instrument where there was just like they were shredding on it. It was crazy. It was exactly. Yeah, that's it, there you go. Right. Oh, it's like you were there. Yeah.
I took violin, but I cannot sing in tune. Did you ever take voice lessons?
You know, last year I was taking a few, and it was really I want to keep doing it. Actually, it was really fun. It was kind of like yoga.
Yeah.
A lot of breathing stuff.
So you met with somebody down in Manhattan
over Zoom.
Over Zoom, and he or she was a singing instructor.
Yeah.
And they would talk to you. Now, could you sing on tune? Could you sing a G right now?
No, I don't know.
Watch me. Here it is.
Okay.
Perfect G. Oh.
You had me going.
I don't know. I wonder. It could be. Do you know? It must be. But when you play guitar, can you tune by ear?
No, I don't know what a G is relative to. No, I need a tuner.
Yeah,
I'm not a savant or anything, but you know, I can hold a note.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'm not like. Isn't that kind of like a crazy skill to be able to, like, that's a G. Like, do people do that?
Yeah, that's what real musicians. I think when I was taking violin, like, you would have to know it by. Mm-hmm. I think, a violinist, all of them would know, like, what a G is, what a C is, what a D is, like, even just the tonal era.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I think advanced musicians but I don't know, I'm not saying you're not, I think It's
No, I'm
more
not-
like
I'm not
reading,
advanced.
writing. Yeah. And people like that sang in choir
Yeah.
usually know a lot about like tone. Like they could just tell if somebody's on pitch or not.
Yeah.
Can you tell if somebody's on pitch?
I mean, like if they're singing a song and they don't hit a note.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, bad singing. Yeah, I know bad singing. I've done karaoke. I'm like, most of these people are not on pitch, including me.
Including me.
Yeah.
Are you a big karaoke guy?
I love karaoke.
Oh, wow.
I find it very, cathartic.
Yeah.
How about you?
I've done it a few times, and I thought I would get the same rush as I do with stand-up, and I don't.
You don't. It's not your material you're singing.
Yeah, because I was singing I don't know. I'm not as big as a karaoke as you would think.
Okay.
But I might try it. I should try it. I need to open up and try it a little bit more. No, some places I like it. And I like watching it.
Okay.
And I like seeing people crash and burn.
Oh, my God.
Isn't it the best?
I mean, crash and burn implies that, I don't know, it's like some sort of actual competition or something. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right.
I
See,
like
it's
when
usually
people go
it's
for
good
it.
just people watching, just see somebody go for it.
Yeah, my expectations are low.
Yeah, sometimes somebody weird just crushes it out of nowhere.
Oh
and
my
you're
God!
Like, oh my God! This is so awesome.
I like when people are very depressed at a karaoke bar. If you're in a big bar, and sometimes there's people that are so drunk or depressed that they don't even get up off the stool.
Yes.
And you're like, where's it coming from? And it's like, oh, it's Bob at the corner of the bar, and he has his head down and he's like, "Purple Rain,"
My wife left me 20 years ago. I haven't been sober in 9 years. I work at the bank. Purple rain. Purple rain.
I like that version, yeah.
Purple rain. Prince. Do you like Prince?
I love Prince.
I love Prince.
Oh my God, he's so cool.
The coolest.
Yeah.
His guitar playing is so badass. And that George Harrison, do you ever see that Guitar Gently Weeps video?
Oh my God, yeah.
It's the best video. Like, I watch that sometimes.
Funny story about that video.
You know about that video?
Well, I mean, I do know about that video, but last Thanksgiving, my brother-in-law was like, have you ever seen that video? He told us, me and my mom's sister, have you ever seen this video of While My Guitar Gently Weeps? And I said I have. My mom and sister hadn't. So he pulls out his phone and is like, let me show you. And we thought we were just going to see the guitar solo, but he played the entire song, which is 8 minutes long. So we're just kind of there okay, we can we can skip forward to the solo. We know what the song sounds like. I love that song. I think that's my favorite Beatles song.
And it's a great performance, but you're right. It's 11 minutes. And
it is 11 minutes. Yeah, he was like, we're going to watch the whole thing. I'm like,
I hate that. I'm so anti-phone.
We just have to be look at this little phone on Thanksgiving.
I know. It bums me out even doing a podcast and creating content because I'm so
Don't watch this on your phone.
Don't watch this on your phone.
Watch this on your mini projector.
Yes. Yes, we definitely artisanal.
Or get an 8-track and kind of maybe print out an 8-track and listen on that.
Yeah, fax it to your best friend.
Fax it to your best friend.
Make a zine out of it.
Make a zine. Page them.
Yeah. But I also love it. But I also hate when somebody brings something up and then they force you to look at their phone. Like, you're like, I'm trying to live in the moment.
Exactly.
Like, I'm trying
exactly. I'm like, this is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
How much longer is my mom going to be around? We don't know.
Yeah.
What if my mom died during that video? I'm like, that was our last moment together, and we were watching your stupid YouTube clip. No offense to Prince. I guess if I was going to watch something with my mom when she died, it would be like a Prince solo.
Yeah, and Stevie Winwood isn't on the background; he's on the keys.
Exactly. So no need to worry. Yeah.
What about? I don't know why I just thought of this. Were you ever into the Jerky Boys?
Oh my God, yes.
Because I just thought this area, a lot of people love the Jerky Boys, and I know you grew up in the upstate, right, New York?
Yeah, Westchester.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I knew about them before they were the Jerky Boys. I just had this it felt like a very bootleg tape, and just these really funny prank calls. is Mike Hunt? Mike Hunt, is he here? Like, but and then like they became a thing. But I think I had some sort of like bootleg tape from them, and then I'm like, oh, that's what they're called, the Jerky Boys.
Yeah, there was another bootleg. The guy would say he was Mark Knopfler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so funny, and that was right before, like, right around the Jerky Boys, and he would talk to him. But I guess I wasn't huge Jerky Boys. I don't know why I asked that because
I thought you were.
I'm not. I'm not really into pranks. I don't like messing with people. As I've gotten older, I don't like messing with people.
No, I mean,
especially nowadays.
I didn't listen to the Jerky Boys on the way here. I thought you were like, no, that was like one of the first comedy things I think I knew about.
Yeah, that's what I would think. It is a really good bass bone like comedy thing.
Yeah, it's just like it's funny voices,
improv in the moment.
Yeah. But wait, why did you bring up?
I don't know why I brought it up. It just came up.
Wow.
It just came up that, hey, were you ever into the Jerky Boys?
I mean, listen.
But I know you were into Morrissey. So I'm kind of trying to get your taste palette, I guess, is what I'm trying to go.
Music. Yeah.
Yeah. What's that?
Morrissey and the Jerky Boys, which is they should really team up, I think.
Yeah. And come up, and Morrissey could prank call people.
Oh my God, yeah, that would be really good. Yeah.
And ask them whether they're vegan or Christian.
Yeah. Right.
Or sing to them in a beautiful tone, in pitch.
In pitch, yeah, that would be. They'd be like, "Is this Morrissey?" He'd be like, "No." Yeah, I love Morrissey.
Yeah, he's amazing. How's your back holding up?
Good. Oh yeah, this is great for my core.
Yeah, great for your core. That's one of those standing desks, or like they have it at IKEA.
Yeah. Should I?
You could try. I just thought maybe we stand up.
Yeah. Okay.
And stretch it out if you were feeling. How much time have we done here? Oh, perfect.
Oh my God.
So
all gold, right? Okay.
What's your favorite stretch right now?
My favorite stretch?
Yeah, give me your favorite stretch.
Pigeon pose.
Oh, what's the pigeon pose?
You have to go on the floor to do that. I don't know.
You can't?
I mean, we could. Want to go on the
well, let me just. What about?
Basically, it's sort of like it's a quad stretch, but it's on the floor.
Okay.
But like it's kind of like this.
Oh, and then you go all the way back. I can do that.
Okay, let's see it. Oh no, yeah, that's a good one. That's on the pigeon pose. Kinda, yeah, but you kinda. Good thing I wore sweatpants. Yeah.
All right, Mac. Thank you so much for coming out to the Cannabis Coffee Hour, showing some stretches, drinking some green tea. Everybody check out Matt Koff. Love you, man.
Yeah.